comes out every once in a while.
Right.
Don't all ask a question at once.
How, with Kawhi being out, what do you see this as? Like, is this a hard time to get through, or is it because you have a lot of talent, not as a difficult time to get through?
What's our record with Kawhi being out? What's our record with Kawhi being out?
2-2, right?
2-2. No, I think we have the guys that can make up for anybody being out the lineup. Mir, coming to start and him playing well. Other guys getting minutes. I think it's really good for us to have opportunities like this, where guys are able to get more minutes and get comfortable and show that they're ready. We want Kawhi back as soon as possible, but I think we've been able to hold the fort down and fight and play.
What's the silver lining for some of these other guys to be able to get some minutes?
Yeah, I always talk to them about the game and the season being so long. That opportunity is going to come. It's all about being ready for it. It can get frustrating, sitting on the bench and not getting minutes, feeling like you should be out there and you can help in different areas in different ways. But just telling them to keep patient, stay working, stay ready, stay mentally locked in. Especially like the young guys, they're very eager. But we got a veteran team, so. You really got to wait your turn. And I always tell them I've been in your shoes, so it's all about just being ready.
Your efficiency is crazy right now, like 50, 40, 100 basically this month. And I know it's your third part of the season plan for this team. Like, what do you attribute it feels like your game is really simplistic offensively. Not that it's easy, but you know what you're doing out there. Like, what do you attribute that to?
Just being within myself, making the plays that are in front of me. Playing off of those guys, learning where James is going to be, how the defense is guarding them, where I can slip in and get some easy look, wide open catch and shoots off the attention that him, Y, and PG draw, even Russ when he gets into his post-ups and teams tilting in, being able to sneak in with cuts and things like that. Just getting good, quality, clean looks, and just stressing myself and believing that my work is going to continue to show.
How have you adjusted to the fact that some of the calls that you used to get that got you to the line, you're drawing the fouls, but you're not getting the free throws? Like, sometimes you can throw a wild shot and they're not going to call that at all. Or, sometimes guys will hack and you'll lose the ball, but you have the fewest turnovers, I think, in 6 years. Like, how are you adjusting to how games are being called? I'm
still reading it. I think it's more frustrating for me. I'm not gonna make any comments to get me fined, but it's just a little frustrating to me because I sit and watch other games, and guys are getting similar calls and they're going to the line or they're being called for an and one, and it feels like every single time I get it, it's maybe 2 out of 10 or 1 out of 15 times where they're actually letting me go to the line and shoot a free throw. Other refs are coming in and saying it's side out. So it's kind of frustrating that end, but it's still a good way to get our team into the bonus later on in the quarter. But just I'm not seeking it out as much this year because I haven't been able to get to the line as much with it. But just being aggressive in those reads and looks when I actually see it coming, still get my fouls, but looking more to play through it and get to where I want to be without trying to look for the foul all the time.
You've historically tried to get, coming off the bench, getting to the free throw line is a way to get yourself in rhythm, especially kind of playing from behind when you come in. So how have you found ways to get yourself in rhythm if you're not going to get those foul calls?
I think getting out of transition, like I said, hunting for those easy catch and shoot opportunities off of James and then his penetration, and then like I said, sneaking in with cuts on the weak side when they're loading up or doubling to get to my floater or layups that way. But yeah, just hunting the openings in the game offensively when they're there.
What are you seeing in those fourth quarters? I think you're shooting 50, 90 in those fourth quarters, something like that?
I don't know.
Shooting really well. But what is in those fourth quarters? Is it something the opponents are doing, something you're seeing offensively that's allowing you to just be so efficient in those fourth quarters?
I think just the game slowing down, and doing what it takes to win. I think when you eliminate everything else, like the distraction and things of what just happened earlier in the game or in the third quarter or whatever run they just went on, and focusing on what the next play is, and going out there and try to make the play for the team to win. The game just becomes easier. and just making the moves and shots that I practice and work on every single day.
The lineups with you, Russ, and James started the year not as well as you guys probably would have liked, but over this last month, you guys have been really good when you've been on the floor as a unit together. Kind of what's led to that change, and what's been the dialogue ongoing with them together for you guys as a collective?
I just think the comfortability, like I said, like at the start, everybody's trying to figure it out. But the more and more you play, more and more communication comes in, and how we want to play. It helps, Russ gets the ball, he pushes in transition, picks up the pace, and the tempo of the game changes. I'm able to run with him, get those, like I said, catch and shoot in transition, or attack off his penetration. And then James, having the methodical approach and the pick and roll and the advanced passes and those thread the needle passes that guys aren't normally ready for defensively. We just give them, a few different looks. We got 3 guys that can score in different ways, so it keeps the defense off balance.
I want to ask you about, because you mentioned cuts a couple times. Your slot cutting has been very evident, especially in fourth quarters.
Mm-hmm.
For you, is this team that you're on right now with this collection of talent, is it the most like gravity that you've seen other players have that has allowed you to have those situations where you are just to kind of cut when the defense isn't watching?
What do you mean?
Like, do you feel like defenses aren't keying in on you as much because of the other guys? Like, is that the most you've kind of seen so far in your time in the league for you?
Yeah, man, when you have, I think I've played with like generational talent in every team that I've played, so they're, getting the bulk of the attention, so playing off of them is something I've always had to do. And then when you have 3 guys on the floor that are Hall of Famers, you're probably going to be the last person they're worried about or they're going to live with, shooting and scoring. Not that, that I can't do those things, but they're more focused and okay with me beating them or getting those opportunities than those guys. You're always trying to make somebody else beat you. You don't want the best player to beat you every single night. So having a guy like me, on the opposite end of the floor that's able to also score at a high level and be efficient and make winning plays is just an added bonus. When those guys are getting double teamed and the attention's on them, you still got a guy that can put the ball in the basket that you're not worried about. If they're helping off, you're more than likely leaving a 40% three-point shooter open or somebody that can drive and get to the basket, finish, and one. So it's just another layer and level that we can attack offensively when they're keying in on those guys.
Thanks, Ron.
Let's get ready for HoopJab.